Petrie. 316 games for North Melbourne. It's long and it's strong.
Petrie off the ground has got the third West Coast goal.
Plenty of smiles for Jonathan Giles at his fourth club. Jonathan Giles from the tight angle, the ruckman with a bit of brilliance.
One of the great blokes, Jonathan Giles. We wish him all the best.
And we can see Sam Mitchell on screen. He'd be pumped for his first game in West Coast colours.
It's something to be seen. The best extractor in the business.
And Sam Mitchell, one of the most decorated players in the game, celebrates his last game with another goal.
Yeah, big round of applause for three more of our retiring players. And we're going to fire a couple of questions at them, starting with Jonathan Giles. Firstly, tell us, Jonathan, what was the nature of this injury that seemed to end your career?
Yeah, it was just a bit of bone on bone with the knee in the end. You know, with footy and being a ruckman, you get a few knocks and you land a bit awkwardly. And over the years, it took its toll, I guess. And you know, that's footy. You sort of get your injuries, as every player does. But I think I've been enormously lucky and blessed to have been a part of the AFL for 11 years. So as much as I would have loved to have kept playing forever, every footballer has to finish at some stage. So I count my lucky stars that I was part of it for such a long time.
4 clubs in 4 states. Do you wish you had $1 for every time you were referred to as journeyman Jonathan Giles?
Yeah, there'd be a few dollars there, wouldn't there?
What's your favourite, your last couple of years at the mighty Blue and Gold, what's your favourite memory you'll take away?
Yeah, I think the game in Adelaide last year when we went across and in the last game of the season we knocked the Crows off at Adelaide Oval, and being from South Australia, that was pretty special. But probably that memory's probably the highest. And then obviously we went on to play in the finals next week, and it was a pretty disappointing loss. That was my first final that I'd been a part of. So yeah, so mixed memories of that night.
Congratulations on your last couple of years at the Eagles. We're going to move across to Sam Mitchell, closest to me. Sam, you've been a leader on the field anyway this season, but it's the big step into the coach's box next year. You've heard the senior coach say there's something special happening around the club. What scares you and what excites you about stepping into the coach's box?
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I sort of feel like I'm the grade 6 and going into grade 7, and you go become a first yearer again, and all the little things, you know, you go into work. I went in today for a couple of hours and opened the computer, and I didn't really know where to get started. So thankfully a couple of the other coaches were in and giving me a hand and teaching me all the shortcuts that I'm going to need to learn. But I am really excited, particularly once the boys get back and you know, start working with them. And I think some of the most joy I got out of this season and perhaps the last few years has been able to see improvement in players that you've had a hand in, and being able to do that on a full-time basis, I should be able to do it a fair bit better. And I'm really looking forward to working with the players. And as Simo said, there's something special brewing. So knowing the guys that I'll work with and being able to keep an eye on them and help them improve, I'm pretty excited about.
You still look like you could be in year 6 or 7. The midfield's going to have a youthful look in 2018. Can you tell us here tonight, who do you think could be some of the up-and-coming stars of the engine room for the Eagles next year?
Yeah, I guess some of the guys that are up the top of the leaderboard are still relatively young players. I think Yowi's on top, played a lot of the year in the back line, but still played in the midfield. I think some of the young kids that played their first games and first rounds of games, you know, Luke Partington and you know, guys like that have just played a handful of games and really still learning their craft. I think there's an exciting future through the middle of the ground, and I think you know, with some of the older guys stepping away, such as us, that there's going to be great opportunities for these guys, and you're going to see more time in their favoured positions, and you're going to see great things from these guys.
Well, good luck as you step into the coach's box. Let's move across to Drew Petrie in the middle. Drew, firstly, have you brought extra family and friends? You're getting a lot of applause tonight.
Yeah, I think the fact is, Mark, they just love me.
They're only human. Drew, after your long career at a couple of clubs, what are you going to miss the most and the least about being an AFL footballer?
Well, I don't think there's anything I'll miss. You just take it all in your stride, and the soreness and the tiredness and the disappointment and the roller coaster that Simo spoke about early on is, yeah, it can be difficult at times, but you just love it. That's all part of it. And after a bad loss, there's nothing better than getting out and getting amongst the boys again and training and trying to get better and win the next week. So those lows can generate enthusiasm to reach those great heights. I think my wife will enjoy life after football in not being such a stressful unit around the home sometimes.
I'd like to know, after 15 years at North Melbourne and playing a few games you'd probably rather forget at Subiaco Oval, have we, after this year, have we given you more fond memories than bad memories of playing at Subiaco Oval?
Yeah, some of my fondest memories across my career will be from what I experienced this season. And I was a bit anxious early on when I come to the club, and I was thinking, who have I had run-ins with over my career when we've played against West Coast? And I think back to the 2015 prelim final, and I think I was lined up against Will Schofield for a lot of the night, and Shannon Hearn was in the back line as well, and there was a couple of words exchanged on that night towards the end of the evening, and that was a bit of an icebreaker when we spoke of that early on in pre-season, and it certainly made me a bit more comfortable, but yeah, it was nice to get plenty of cheers as a team when we'd walk off the Subiaco as victors this season, as opposed to getting booed and cursed. And I think some fan even had a swing at me last year when Sharad Wellingham pushed me over the fence. So, yeah, there's some great memories this year.
Well, you've created great memories for us as well. So what about a big round of applause for our 3 retiring players up here? Now, Jonathan Giles, Drew Petrie and Sam Mitchell.